Ciao Fabri, welcome back in
Ciao
our
guys.
podcast. Today we speak about Arsenal because it has been a really successful and satisfying start of the season for the Arsenal fans so far. So what's the feeling at the club right now? What's the behind the scenes of the situation inside the club at Arsenal?
Look, in this new format we have here on Men in Blazers about the new strategies and the situation behind the scenes at the clubs, I think Arsenal is one of the most interesting one to explore, to be honest. Because you can feel that it's a really important moment in their project. You can feel everybody at the club is really feeling that Arsenal are very close to the level they wanted to reach. Of course, trophies are a crucial part of this process, and so we will see at the end of the season what happens. But Arsenal are very happy with what they did on the market, with the atmosphere in the squad, with the relationship between Mikel Arteta and everyone at the club. So there is a very good feeling at Arsenal. When I say Arsenal, it's about the players, it's about the directors, it's about the ownership, it's about the coach and the technical staff. So it's a great moment, I would say, to be at Arsenal. They are very happy, especially with the age of their squad. They are convinced that this squad is very good already, it's performing very well, but they are also convinced that the potential of the squad is even better for the upcoming seasons, and so Arsenal are super excited about their project. Obviously now is going to be time to deliver in terms of trophies.
You mentioned directors. There is a new director. I mean, not new anymore, but one appointed this year. I'm talking about Andre Berta, of course, at Arsenal. What's the feeling at the club behind the scenes after these few months of work of the Italian sport director?
No, great feeling between Arsenal, everyone at the club, and Andrea Berta, also with the fans from what they see on social media. But the summer transfer window was very successful for Arsenal. They got the player they wanted. They also had the opportunity to go for some hidden gems in the market like they did with Mosquera. So for sure Arsenal are very happy with the work of Andrea Berta, very straight to the point, very strong in negotiations, bringing his experience from Italian and Spanish football, of course, recent years at Atletico Madrid, doing an important job with a different style compared to the past, and Arsenal are very happy with Andre Berta, the players as well. Mikel Arteta has a very good connection with the director, and during the summer transfer window they were together in several situations. Also sometimes you need to be very fast if you want to get some deals over the line. For example, Eberechi, we did a special episode here on Men in Blazers about that story, but the connection between Berta and Arteta in that case helped Arsenal to get the deal done in basically 48 hours, and so it's really important to be coordinated. And so I think for Arsenal is a very good moment, also because of this new director coming and helping to bring the project to the next level.
Talking about one of the moves of Andre Berta was, of course, the new contract of Saliba. So what happened with Real Madrid, if you can explain that, and how crucial was that also for Arsenal for the next years in the project?
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic news, not just because you keep one of the best players in the world, probably one of the best centre-backs in the world, but also because of the timing. I think in this case for Arsenal the fantastic news is about keeping Saliba, but to close this case immediately, already at the end of September, beginning of October, is something special because you avoid having problems with all the speculation, with all the media rumors, with all the possibilities, because it was not speculation about Real Madrid, it was reality. Real Madrid wanted William Saliba, Real Madrid considered William Saliba as a potential target for the future. They never started any negotiation or any concrete talk, because you can't do it, obviously, with 2 years left on his contract, and because Arsenal never wanted to entertain any negotiation and discussion. But in the internal discussions at Real Madrid, Saliba was always mentioned as one of the potential targets if he was not going to extend his contract at Arsenal. So Arsenal were able to keep him, but also to do it immediately at the beginning of the season means to be able to relax on that front, to have Saliba fully focused on the present and not on the media speculation. And so that's a great news for Arsenal. Obviously for Real Madrid he was a potential target only in case he was not going to extend the contract. We always said here, Real Madrid see Saliba as the Bellingham of the defenders, but the ball is in Arsenal court. Is Arsenal having the opportunity to extend? Saliba really wanted to stay. Arteta was fully involved in the process, talking directly to the player, bringing him behind the scenes of what they want to do for present but also future. And so this kind of project, I think, sold by Arsenal to William Saliba really made the difference. And then also obviously the financial proposal they improved at the end of August to convince William Saliba.
And what about another defender, an important defender for Arsenal, Gabriel Magalhaes? Is he also considered as untouchable? And also if you have some secrets that we can share here in the podcast for our listeners.
Yeah, I think Gabriel has been underrated for many years. Not now, because now with the goals he's scoring and the performances he's doing, he's probably one of the best defenders in the world. but he's been underrated for a few years. And in that moment, also with Edu, the previous director at Arsenal, who did a very good job in bringing him to the club, and also with Mikel Arteta directly in connection with Gabriel, everyone at Arsenal believes that he's been underrated for a long time. Last summer, not in 2025, but in 2024, there were two possibilities for Gabriel. One was to go to Paris Saint-Germain, and the other one was to go to Saudi, with a very big proposal coming from Saudi Pro League. But Arsenal immediately told Gabriel that he was untouchable. They extended his contract in the following months. So Arsenal always considered Gabriel as a really important part of the squad for present and future. So he's absolutely untouchable. He's very happy at the club. And this mentality is really appreciated in the dressing room, always with his winning mentality, working hard, and with Mikel Arteta, super happy with him.
Since we are mentioning contracts right now, what about the one of Timber?
Jurrien Timber could be one of the next ones to sign a new contract at Arsenal, because they're doing a very good job with contracts over the summer transfer window. Maybe someone already forgot about that, but it was very important to extend Lewis Kelly, to extend Ethan Nwaneri, so there were very good news for Arsenal's future. Well, for Timber, is the same plan. Arsenal want to extend his contract. There is a conversation expected to continue in the next weeks and months to get a new deal done for Jurrien Timber. Then we will see the timing based on the conversations, but Arsenal are quite optimistic because Timber is very happy at the club. Today Arteta in press conference said how he has every skill needed for a defender to be successful, and so a very good connection between the coach, everyone at the club, and Jurrien Timber. Now, new contract is going to be discussed. It's going to be a new 5-year deal, same as William Saliba. This is the plan, with an improved salary, so conversation ongoing, but Arsenal optimistic.
And what about Bukayo Saka? Arsenal fans want to know if he's going to sign a new contract as well.
Look, at the moment there is a conversation ongoing also, that one between Bukayo and Arsenal, but also in this case I would be very optimistic. According to sources close to the club, this one can be done quite soon. Let's see again the timing based also on all the details of the contract. You can imagine when you extend these big contracts, it takes some time to check everything on player side, on club side, to check the details. But Bukayo is super happy at Arsenal. The feeling I said at the beginning of our podcast, that Arsenal are really at the next level of the project and where they want it to be, well, also Bukayo Saka has exactly the same feeling. He's convinced that Arsenal are now reaching the best level possible, and so very happy to stay, to continue, not tempted by any other proposal. So I think this contract extension will get done soon.
Talking about the signings of the summer 2025, there is one considered as special by the club. Which one is it, in your opinion? And also, no, you can explain that, yes.
Yeah, there have been many top signings for Arsenal, of course, and the fans are very excited about that, from Gyökeres, Madueke, Eze, all of them really were quite special. Zubimendi, who is fantastic in my opinion. But Arsenal really believe they won the jackpot by signing Christian Mosquera, because signing a player like Mosquera for 15 million pounds, 14-15 million pounds, it's a really fantastic opportunity they got on the market to get a top centre-back, very fast, physical, with big potential, super young. These kind of opportunities are very difficult to find on the market nowadays, and I can reveal something here. There were two Italian clubs prepared to sign Mosquera if Arsenal were not able to get the deal over the line. One was Como. Como were prepared to pay even more than 25 million euros to Valencia immediately to sign Christian Mosquera, and so you can imagine, obviously, for Valencia was a big opportunity, but Arsenal were the only project wanted by the player, because also Inter in Italy were considering Mosquera as a potential free agent for 2026, but Arsenal got an agreement with the player. So for Valencia basically was take the money from Arsenal immediately or lose the player on a free to join Arsenal in 2026. So that was the strategy by Andre Berta, and was a successful one because Arsenal got a top defender in Christian Mosquera.
Yeah, I was also asking if there is one player that they tried to sign and then they didn't at the end.
Yeah, there have been many. Obviously, when you have the summer transfer window, there are some stories behind the scenes of signings. They attempted, one of the players, for example, they wanted to sign at Arsenal. He was a target already in 2024, and that was not possible to complete the deal in the final days of the window. And again, this summer, at the beginning of the transfer window, is the Spanish goalkeeper Juan Garcia, because Arsenal saw a value in this player. For 25 million euros release clause to sign him from Espanyol, he was seen as a big opportunity, maybe a goalkeeper worth in the real market. That's my opinion, not official, but maybe, I don't know, 40, 50, 60 million euros to get him for 25 was a big opportunity. Arsenal tried, but the player was in very advanced talks with Barcelona. Arsenal absolutely trust David Raya, so to sign Juan Garcia was probably going to mean to send him on loan to another club, not to sign him to be the starting goalkeeper immediately. For Barcelona, obviously, was different. Juan Garcia was a starter in the same city, in the same league, Spanish player, and so for Barca, the deal was easier. So this was one of the behind-the-scenes stories from the summer transfer window.
Talking about what's next, players who might leave as well, Arsenal in the future, is there a plan for a player who can leave in the 2026?
Yeah, there will be some player leaving, of course. We see if it's going to be January or summer, but one of the players, for example, who might leave Arsenal already in the January transfer window, let's see how it's going to feel also on the physical point of view, is, for example, Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel Jesus already had some possibility to go in the summer transfer window, then there was no agreement done. Now the injury, out of the Champions League list. Let's see if it's going to be January or summer, might be summer. This will depend also on the opportunities, on the proposals, but I think Gabriel Jesus could try to explore some different way in 2026. We will see which transfer window, but that's one of the cases we'll have to follow because Gabriel Jesus has concrete possibilities to go.
And last one for today about a potential new talent for Arsenal. Who can be the next talent playing at Arsenal?
Look, I have one name, and he's a talent that Arsenal have been monitoring for a few months now, and he's a player they keep observing. It's not going to be easy at all because he's a Real Madrid player, but the name is Victor Valdepeñas, also called Valde. He's considered an important talent, a very young player from Real Madrid youth sector, centre-back, Spanish, talented. Arsenal have been monitoring him for some time, so he's one of the players in the radar at Arsenal. Again, he's a Real Madrid player, and we know very well how difficult it is to sign players from Real Madrid because all the players want to stay at Real Madrid and consider that as the best project possible. So it's not easy, but for sure Arsenal have been tracking and monitoring this boy, so we will see what happens in the future.
Thank you, Fabri, for that. Talk to you soon.
Thank you. Ciao, guys.